You are looking live at our nation's capital, Washington, D.C., inside the Capital One Arena. 6 nights before Survivor Series, we are live for Monday Night Raw, and the #1 contendership for the undisputed WWE title hangs in the balance tonight. The former WWE champion, the unpredictable Bron Breakker, steps into the ring with the ring general Gunther. 2 dominant champions in their time, both looking to reclimb the ladder on Raw. Breakker and Gunther meet for #1 contendership right here tonight. But just 6 nights before Survivor Series, the OTC Roman Reigns is on Monday Night Raw. One can only wonder what is going through the mind of the OTC days before the traditional Survivor Series elimination match in New York City. It is coming up this Sunday night at Survivor Series, live from the world's most famous arena in Madison Square Garden. The OTC Roman Reigns, the Samoan Werewolf Jacob Fatu, the Street Champ Solo Sikoa, and of course the Bloodline, topped off by the High Chief, the Great One, The Rock, who returns to the squared circle. Those 4 men go 4v4 up against Team Cena, led by the WWE Champion John Cena, the Second City Saint CM Punk, the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes, and the Visionary Seth freaking Rollins. You know, a couple of weeks ago when that matchup was first signed on, we saw Roman and Seth stare eye to eye from the ring to the top of the entrance ramp. Multiple times already in 2025, Roman and Seth have stood side by side against common enemies. And this Sunday night, whether they like to or not, they are going to be forced to go mano a mano. We still don't know what's going through their mind. What is the psyche of the OTC after all that has developed in his family over the last number of months here on Raw? But what we do know is The Rock said that Survivor Series is the quote-unquote last chance for the OTC. Whatever the hell that means remains to be seen. Well, what we do know is Roman Reigns is live and in living color in our nation's capital. Well, business is picking up here on Monday Night Raw. And I'm not sure if this is the person that Roman Reigns wants to see at the given minute. The Visionary, the Revolutionary, Seth freaking Rollins is in Washington, D.C. Seth Rollins, a part of Team Cena on Sunday night, happily last week elected himself to be a part of the team, saying he's ready to go to battle with the Bloodline at Survivor Series. Well, Seth Rollins just put The Rock on blast, and from my estimation, Roman Reigns just tried to dodge all of it. Well, an awkward confrontation between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. So much history there, but coming up this Sunday night in New York City, Team Cena versus the Bloodline. 4-on-4 traditional Survivor Series elimination matchup. Roman and Rock aren't on the same page, and Roman admits it. They better hurry up and figure out that issue because they go to war this Sunday night.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the WWE Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Well, a huge Survivor Series coming up on Sunday. But right here tonight in Washington, D.C., championship implications written all over Monday Night Raw. And we got a rematch from a couple of weeks ago signed on.
Introducing the challenger from Glasgow, Scotland, Alba Fyre.
It was 2 weeks ago on Monday Night Raw in Tampa that the Unholy Union's Alba Fyre defended the Women's Intercontinental Championship against the challenger La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer. Vaquer shining bright on that night in the middle of a capacity Yingling arena, putting down Alba Fyre, extinguishing her flame, and taking away the Women's Intercontinental Gold. One half of the Unholy Union, wasting no time invoking a rematch clause. Alba Fyre wants back the gold she originally held from Clash at the Castle all the way back in May up until 2 weeks ago. Alba Fyre with Isla Dawn in her corner, looking to do what she couldn't do 2 weeks ago, put down the Dark Angel and become a two-time Women's Intercontinental Champion in the process. Stephanie Vaquer has outlasted the numbers game before. Will lightning strike twice in the middle of Washington, D.C.? Only one way to find out. Ring the bell. Let them fight. Let's see who's standing tall on the other side of it. The Dark Angel is live on Raw.
WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Vaquer.
She is the new Women's Intercontinental Champion, but she may not be for long. Just 2 weeks ago, she captured that gold. 2 weeks later, it may be leaving her waist once and for all. It is her very first defense of the Intercontinental Championship, and it very well may be her last. Stephanie Vaquer starting to become very familiar with Alba Fyre. You gotta imagine Alba Fyre is gonna be bringing something different to this game, trying to throw the Dark Angel off of hers and get back the gold. Well, Alba Fyre wouldn't have invoked this rematch clause so soon if she didn't realize where she went wrong 2 weeks ago and thought she had enough to figure out what it's going to take to keep down Stephanie Vaquer the second time around. A high-stakes matchup kicking things off tonight on what is going to be a high-stakes edition of Monday Night Raw. You can cut the tension with a knife in the middle of Capital One Arena right now, especially after that confrontation moments ago between the OTC Roman Reigns and the visionary Seth freaking Rollins. Well, of course, later tonight we will crown the #1 contender for John Cena's undisputed WWE Championship, whether that be Bron Breakker or Gunther. But kicking things off, it's Alba Fyre looking to get back the Intercontinental gold, and she nearly did it right off the opening bell. Bookending tonight's event with championship implications here on Monday Night Raw, as Alba Fyre is hell-bent on doing what she couldn't do 2 weeks ago, and that's keeping down the Dark Angel. Stephanie Vaquer, in just a few short months since joining Monday Night Raw back in the summer, making her presence felt. She has gone the limit with Rhea Ripley in the ring. She has been a part of the Queen of the Ring tournament, and already within the last couple of months has solidified herself as a mainstay, now as the third Women's Intercontinental Champion of the title's lineage. Stephanie Vaquer just looking to get past Alba Fyre once and for all tonight and move on to a division full of challengers. But the former champion, that being one half of the unholy union, currently standing in her way. And again, we talk about it every time Alba Fyre has stepped foot in the ring during her Intercontinental Championship reign. The X Factor on the outside of the ring, the White Witch Isla Dawn, who has helped Alba Fyre retain that championship and helped her win it back at Clash at the Castle all those months ago. I'm sure the Unholy Union's got an A plan, a B plan, a C plan, all the way to Z to ensure that Alba leaves here tonight a history-making, two-time Intercontinental Champion. It is certainly not going to be an easy task for Stephanie Vaquer to outlast Alba Fyre, but rest assured she is going to do her damnedest. Look at the float over into the DDT by the Chile-born superstar. Into the cover goes Vaquer early on here, and Alba Fyre pops the shoulder. Stephanie Vaquer not looking to see the greatest success she has found yet here in the WWE already go up in smoke. It'll be a short-lived championship reign, but it's gonna be that if she makes mistakes like she just did. Alba Fyre rolled to the outside right by Isla Dawn. Stephanie Vaquer following suit, and I believe Fyre just goaded her in that time. Now sending her right into the barricade on the outside of the ring. Just that quick moment's notice, that quick hiccup by Stephanie Vaquer following Alba Fyre to the outskirts, costing her the momentum, and now is the former champion who is momentarily back in control of this matchup. Rolling code breaker. Alba Fyre now right into the lateral. But to win back the title, got the 2 count that time, one step closer. But so far, not enough to figure out the puzzle she was unable to put together 2 weeks ago here on Raw. Remember, Stephanie Vaquer not only pinned Alba Fyre to win the Intercontinental Championship, but had originally earned that matchup by pinning Alba Fyre a couple of weeks prior in a 6-woman tag team bout here on Monday Night Raw. Some might say that Stephanie Vaquer has the number of one half of the Unholy Union, but Alba Fyre is looking for that to be nothing short of a myth. Sit-out powerbomb right into the pin, and it's another kick out. Alba Fyre is getting closer and closer with these pinfalls, but still, Stephanie Vaquer continues to fight. And they always say it's one thing to get to a top, but it's one thing to get to the top, excuse me, but it's a whole other thing to stay there. Stephanie Vaquer with a long journey to becoming Intercontinental Champion and climbing out mountain per se. But it could be a very short way down if Alba Fyre can knock her off that pedestal here tonight. Alba Fyre taking Stephanie Vaquer off her feet once more, and now one half of the Unholy Union firmly in control of this matchup. You see all written all over the body language of Stephanie Vaquer, the fatigue setting in. Looking a little bit dazed inside of the ring as Alba Fyre takes her down with the arm drag. And now goes behind, right into the gory special to win back the Intercontinental title. Not just yet. That's as close as she's got thus far, but Stephanie Vaquer popping that shoulder at 2.5. Well, Alba Fyre cannot allow the frustration as she's been unable to put Vaquer away, get the best of her. Fyre's got to realize that every time she's going for a pinfall, she has gotten closer and closer to referee Daphne LaShawn's hand hitting for the 3. She's got to keep her foot on the gas pedal and not allow what looks to be coming, and that is a rally from La Primera. Out of the corner, now a boot scrape. Just paint brushing the jawline of the Scotland-born challenger. Stephanie Vaquer eyeing up the former champion. Alba Fyre now pulled back into the backbreaker. Stephanie Vaquer picking her spots wisely, moving a little bit slow. Goes to show you that Alba Fyre certainly has done a number thus far. Alba Fyre may be seeing stars after that. Into the cover by Vaquer to win back the title, or I should say retain the title, but not enough either way to put Alba Fyre out for the count. Hell of a matchup thus far to kick things off here from Washington, D.C. on Monday Night Raw. Stephanie Vaquer in her very first defense of the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Defending against the former champion she defeated 2 weeks ago in Tampa. One half of the Unholy Unions, Alba Fyre. On a night that'll also feature Bron Breakker one-on-one with Gunther to determine the #1 contender for John Cena's WWE Championship. Of course, Gunther or Bron Breakker will see John Cena down the line after we get through Survivor Series this Sunday night. Now, wait a minute, hold that thought. Back to the action inside of the ring, and even on the outskirts, it's Isla Dawn distracting Stephanie Vaquer, a tale as old as time. Unholy Union trying to divide the attention of Vaquer and conquer. We talked about that X Factor, and it may have paid Fyre dividends. She's going up for the Swanton Bomb, nobody home. And now Stephanie Vaquer with the SVB Bomb. Vaquer into the cover, off the crash and burn, and retains the Women's Intercontinental Championship.
Here is your winner, and still the WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion, Stephanie Vaquer.
Well, it looked as if Isla Dawn at ringside certainly was going to be the X Factor. Took Stephanie Vaquer's eye off the ball, and Alba Fyre nearly compromised Vaquer's Intercontinental Championship reign. But Vaquer able to sidestep that Swanton Bomb, deliver the SVB, and for the second time in a 3-week span, Vaquer has defeated Fyre to retain the Intercontinental Championship. And oh, wait a minute, Isla Dawn back inside of the ring with the kendo stick. Right to the abdominal and right to the back of the Intercontinental Champion. The other half of the Unholy Union, the White Witch, Isla Dawn, sending a message to the Dark Angel that this thing is far from over. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. Well, the rivalry has been brewing in the midst of the Monday Night Raw Tag Team Division the last number of weeks. The Bloodlines, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, have laid waste to the Wyatt Six, whether that be Joe Gacy, Dexter Lumis, Eric Rowan, or even the head honcho, Uncle Howdy. And last week on Monday Night Raw, Tama Tonga of the Bloodline went one-on-one with the Wyatt Six, Joe Gacy. There you see Tonga Loa in the back half of your screen, exposing the steel underneath the turnbuckle. Tama Tonga taking advantage moments later and scoring the victory over Joe Gacy. Well, the Bloodline clearly with one goal in mind, and they're going to get that opportunity come Sunday night. Taking place on the Noah Nation Gaming channel member exclusive Survivor Series kickoff show. The World Tag Team Championship will be on the line. Gacy and Lumis of the Wyatt Six defend the gold against Tonga and Loa of the Bloodline. Well, we got more action live from our nation's capital on Monday Night Raw.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Weighing in at 212 pounds,
An emotional battle awaits Sami Zayn in the middle of the Big Apple on Sunday night. Sami Zayn set to go one-on-one with his old friend Kevin Owens. These two men stood side by side for many years, but Kevin Owens has driven the dagger straight into the heart of Sami Zayn. Zayn is out for revenge. Kevin Owens out to cut Sami Zayn out of his life once and for all. Both of them going to get their chance at their ulterior motives come this Sunday at Survivor Series. Well, Kevin Owens has tried to get the edge over Sami Zayn the last couple of weeks, but Zayn has left Owens laying not once but twice with haluva kicks the last couple of weeks on Monday Night Raw. Well, Kevin Owens interfered in a matchup between Sami Zayn and the Intercontinental Champion Ludwig Kaiser a number of weeks ago as well. We are looking for a return bout here tonight on Monday Night Raw, and hopefully this time around Kevin Owens stays away and lets these two men fight. And Sami Zayn not the only one, with engagements coming this Sunday at Survivor Series. Zayn's got Kevin Owens. All the while, Imperium's Ludwig Kaiser is going to have his hands full with the ruler Alba Fyre, all for that championship that is around Kaiser's waist, the prestigious Intercontinental Gold.
his opponent representing Imperium from Hamburg, Germany, weighing in at 220 pounds, the WWE Intercontinental Champion, Ludwig Kaiser.
Well, it was last week on Raw we saw the tournament finals of the #1 Contenders tournament for Kaiser's Intercontinental Championship. Alba Fyre defeating Penta in that matchup and securing his spot in the world's most famous arena this Sunday, where Alba Fyre gets a crack at Kaiser's gold. The Intercontinental Championship is on the line at Survivor Series. Alba Fyre outlasting 3 rounds of the #1 Contenders tournament, from Chad Gable to Carmelo Hayes to Penta last week. But will he be able to turn away the challenge of Imperium's Kaiser come Sunday? Let us not forget who Ludwig Kaiser defeated fair and square to win that Intercontinental Championship all the way back at the Bash in Berlin. That would be the Apex Predator, Randy Orton. We know Kaiser's got what it takes to win under the bright lights with a pressure on his shoulders. Will he be able to do so on Sunday? Will he be able to build momentum here tonight? We are underway. Sami Zayn, Ludwig Kaiser. This is a return matchup from a couple of weeks ago. Sami Zayn technically winning those affairs via disqualification, but I think Ludwig Kaiser has got something to say about it. I don't think he would consider Sami Zayn a winner, and Kaiser's looking for an exclamation victory here in the early moments. Both these men not looking to fall short ahead of their big-time bouts at Survivor Series, the Fall Classic, one of the biggest nights of the WWE calendar. Sami Zayn, you also gotta imagine, we talked about this a couple of weeks as well, he would have been involved most likely in that #1 Contenders tournament for Ludwig Kaiser's Intercontinental Championship had Kevin Owens not turned on Sami Zayn and put him on the shelf for a number of weeks. Well, Sami Zayn awarded an opportunity in a sense with these non-title matches against Kaiser. Again, defeated Kaiser via disqualification 2 weeks ago, but I think Sami Zayn wants to get the job done the old-fashioned way by pinning Kaiser's shoulders to the mat. I think Kaiser is out to do the same here. Defeat Sami Zayn, get his hand raised high, walk into New York City, stare Obafemi eye to eye just like he did last week on Raw, and try to retain his Intercontinental Championship. Certainly going to be a tough battle for Kaiser on Sunday, standing in the ring with the ruler, just as it will be for Sami Zayn, who heads into an emotional fight with Kevin Owens. Different motive for Sami Zayn, however, at the given moment. Just looking for victory over Kaiser. Couple of reversals that time, knocks Imperium's representative off his feet, and Sami Zayn stomping a hole into the heart of Kaiser. Sami Zayn has never backed down from a fight. He ain't gonna start tonight, underdog or not. He is here to put Kaiser to bed and walk into Survivor Series the victor. Unloaded in the corner. Gotta imagine Sami Zayn is taking out some pent-up anger and frustration in the midst of this matchup, as well as he paintbrushes the face of Kaiser with that boot. Sami Zayn now back in control in the Capital One Arena. Middle rope, Kaiser in the drop zone. I think we're gonna have a flying Sami Zayn. Oh, we got caught. Zayn wanted the elbow. Ludwig Kaiser caught him right in the rib cage, knocking the wind out of Zayn, at least for the moment. Well, just when you think, excuse me, you're gonna witness a rally here from Sami Zayn in the middle of Washington, D.C. Kaiser saying, not today. Kaiser now taking Zayn off his feet once more. There's that soccer-like kick right to the chest cavity of his opposer. And Sami Zayn's still alive, but gotta imagine if the wind wasn't knocked out of him already after coming off the top rope, it certainly has to be now. Ludwig Kaiser's been in the ring with a lot of top-level talent over the last couple of years, whether it was over on SmackDown or here on Monday Night Raw. Win, lose, or draw, Kaiser has continued to get better, and in recent months he has finally started to put the pieces together. That is why he is the Intercontinental Champion today. That's how he was able to outlast Randy Orton back on his home soil in Germany a couple of months ago at the Bash in Berlin. Will Kaiser be able to take down Sami Zayn tonight? Days before Zayn battles Kevin Owens. I'm not sure Sami wants a loss on his resume heading into that bout. What a drop kick. Just when you think Ludwig Kaiser's got Zayn up against the ropes, Sami Zayn finding a way to come alive here on Monday Night Raw. Kaiser now, he was the one up against the ropes, but Sami Zayn, he's got jets underneath those boots. Suicide, tornado DDT to the outside. Kaiser getting spiked right on his crown at ringside, and Sami Zayn might have just put this matchup to bed. Back inside the ring we go as Sami Zayn, like a shark that smells blood in the water, A wounded Kaiser is in trouble. Blue Thunderbomb. And a kick out by the Intercontinental Champion. Well, you gotta give credit where credit's due. Kaiser surviving after some high-octane maneuvers by Sami Zayn. Well, this matchup getting cut short a couple of weeks ago. Now we're seeing the full edition. Ludwig Kaiser trying to fight back. Well, Sami Zayn ain't afraid to break things down to a brawl. Don't egg him on. Kaiser rolled to the outside. I think after that flurry by Sami, Intercontinental Champion may need some R&R. Or maybe he's throwing in the towel. Well, Kaiser, I think, has had enough of this matchup, and oh, well, where are you going? The ruler, Alba Fyre, making sure the Intercontinental Champion ain't going anywhere. Sami Zayn rolling Kaiser back inside the ring as Kaiser looked to walk out on this matchup. And an exploder suplex by Zayn. Ludwig Kaiser, Survivor Series opponent, ensuring Kaiser ain't getting out of Dodge here tonight. Oh, there's a reversal by the Intercontinental Champion. Oh, went for the clothesline. Sami Zayn backpedaling to avoid the contact. Now Ludwig Kaiser set to the opposite corner. Haluva kick. Kaiser thrown off his game at the appearance of Alba Fyre. And the Haluva kick puts this matchup to bed. Well, a huge victory tonight for Sami Zayn. Not only pinning the Intercontinental Champion, possibly putting himself in conversations for a future championship bout, but Sami Zayn standing tall, building momentum just 6 nights before he battles Kevin Owens at Survivor Series. And, oh, wait a minute, speaking of the devil, Kevin Owens attacking Sami Zayn in the aisle way. Oh, hold on here. Not on the concrete. It looked like Kevin Owens was going for a package pile driver out on the steel and the concrete, but Sami Zayn's adrenaline's flowing, Zayn able to fend him off. Remember what we said earlier on, the last 2 weeks Kevin Owens has tried to get the edge over Sami Zayn, and Zayn has left him laying with Haluva kicks inside of the ring. Well, I don't think Kevin Owens is looking for Sami Zayn to have the last laugh ahead of Survivor Series. Oh, Sami Zayn still fighting back. This is dangerous territory here. Back inside of the ring. Stunner by Owens. Owens had a moment to regroup. Zayn walked right into the lion's den. I don't think he's done either. A second stunner. Well, Kevin Owens making Sami Zayn pay ahead of Survivor Series. Well, Owens getting the last laugh at least for tonight. But later on here in Washington, D.C., we determine the #1 contender for John Cena's WWE Championship. Bron Breakker, Gunther. It's one-on-one later tonight here on Raw. Can't get enough universe mode? PLE kickoff shows, live events, all exclusive to Noah Nation Gaming channel members. Hit the join button down below and gain access to more universe than ever before. We want to take you back to Monday Night Raw last week. Rhea Ripley picking up the victory over American Maids Ivy Nile. Celebration cut short as the arrival of Rhea's Survivor Series opponent, the prodigy Roxanne Perez, was on the scene and issued a beatdown on the Nightmare. A week prior, Perez had told Ripley that if holding Money in the Bank told us anything, it's that Perez is always one step ahead. A series of pop rocks with a steel chair attack inside of the ring, and then the cherry on top, a hat trick of pop rocks, a third one on the outside. Rhea Ripley laid out, wiped out by her Survivor Series opponent last week on Monday Night Raw. We are here live in Washington, D.C. American Made is draped in red, white, and blue, and it is once again Ivy Nile who is set for action against Rhea Ripley's Survivor Series opponent, that being the WWE Women's Champion. Roxanne Perez better be careful about getting under the nightmare Rhea Ripley's skin. She was the 2024 Women's Superstar of the Year, as voted by you, the fans. A former Women's World Champion during her time on SmackDown. In 2025, she has had a reign as one half of the Women's Tag Team Champions, Money in the Bank holder, and now she holds the rewards around her waist. The current WWE Women's Champion, after cashing in her contract just a few short weeks ago at Bad Blood in Miami. Well, Lyra Valkyria, of course, going to be in line for a championship matchup when she is cleared to compete, but Rhea Ripley at the front of the line and awaits an exchange with Roxanne this Sunday night at Survivor Series. Well, Perez said 2 weeks ago that she is always one step ahead. Last week, she laid out Rhea Ripley with a steel chair and a series of pop rocks inside and outside of the ring. Roxanne Perez, oh my goodness! Well, she better be careful pissing off Rhea Ripley, but she also better be focused on American Made's Ivy Nile, who is hungry and is out to make her name known. Ivy Nile with an impressive showing against the challenger for Survivor Series, Rhea, last week in Greensboro. Now looking to take the fight to the champion, that being Roxanne Perez. Ivy Nile could be on the verge of a huge upset tonight. And you gotta imagine, if Roxanne Perez's mind is already focused on Survivor Series, is already worried about Rhea Ripley, she may not be fully focused on the task at hand, which is Ivy Nile, and a distracted Roxanne Perez may be exactly what Ivy needs to score the upset here. But right now, it looks as if Roxanne is fully focused on the current task. Roxanne Perez, I'm sure, is feeling confident after the attack on Rhea Ripley last week. But as we mentioned moments ago, you got to be careful getting under the skin of Rhea. We have seen Rhea come for blood in the past against rivals. Look at this year alone, Tiffany Stratton, Nia Jax, a couple of women that Rhea Ripley had issues with, that eventually, when you look at the time those issues ended, Rhea Ripley was the only one standing tall. Well, I'm sure Rhea's looking for that to be the case again come Sunday night in Madison Square Garden. Same building that Rhea found success in back in January when she won the Royal Rumble. Roxanne Perez doesn't give a damn about what Rhea Ripley's done, who she's fought, where she's been. The prodigy only concerns herself with one woman, and that's herself! Meteora by Roxanne off the middle rope, taking Ivy Nile down, and Ivy's still alive. Ivy tough as nails, strong as an ox, and surround herself with some incredible talent, that being American Made, but she's got to start putting the pieces together and getting the victory where it matters most. Nights like tonight, when you're getting an opportunity to be in the ring with the champion of the division, Roxanne Perez, this is where you got to capture a moment in time. Ivy Nile with the gut wrench that time, taking Roxanne off her feet. Not necessarily a home soil advantage for American Made here, but in our nation's capital, draped in red, white, and blue, maybe they're feeling a little extra confident, and maybe that'll benefit Ivy Nile. Couple of powerful maneuvers out of the arsenal of Ivy. That is certainly her strong suit in this matchup against Roxanne Perez, who's going to have to rely on speed and agility like we have seen thus far. Competitive matchup between these two women as Roxanne takes Ivy out of the corner. And there's the speed that we talked about, pair of boots. Right to Ivy Nile, and she's far from done. Ivy eating the canvas for Monday Night Dinner. Roxanne Perez, big time impaler DDT, and well, I don't know who started this argument. Chad Gable of American Made, the women's champion Roxanne Perez. Well, I would not want to be trapped in a room with those two yappers. Meanwhile, Ivy Nile from behind. We saw this last week. Torture rack to Roxanne Perez. She's gonna break the Prodigy in half here. Perez trapped on the shoulders of Ivy, and I believe was able to get some fingertips on the ropes, and referee Daphne LaShawn calling for the rope break. Well, if Ivy Nile would have put Roxanne Perez in that torture rack a little bit farther away, this one might be done and over with. We might not have gotten the victory, but what Ivy did just do is secure the momentum, at least for the moment. She has got the Prodigy hurt, no doubt about it. Roxanne set to the corner. There's another reversal by the women's champion. Ivy Niles another one up against the buckles. Roxanne Perez moving a little bit slower here. Maybe not. Looked as if that torture rack might have taken an ounce out of Roxanne, but doing her damnedest to try to fight. Like her attitude or not, there's a reason Roxanne has been so successful the last 2 years. Roxanne now sent over the top rope by the power of Ivy Nile. The Prodigy breaks the grasp, creating a little bit of separation, and hanging Ivy up in the ropes. Man, Ivy Nile, Roxanne Perez, things are getting scrappy between these two women here on Monday Night Raw. But Roxanne looking for the closer, pop rocks on Ivy. And Roxanne Perez gonna hang her head high ahead of Survivor Series.
Here is your winner, Roxanne Perez.
Well, from Women's Tag Team Champion to Money in the Bank to WWE Women's Champion, it's been a hell of a year so far for the Prodigy Roxanne Perez. And she is looking for the cherry on top come Madison Square Garden. One-on-one with the woman she cashed in Money in the Bank on. The Nightmare Rhea Ripley. Roxanne Perez looking for victory Sunday night. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Rhea Ripley making her way to the WWE Universe here in the Capital One Arena. She's in the ring. And the demon in Roxanne's dreams is on the scene. Rhea Ripley out for some payback after the attack last week. Well, you notice the kinesio tape on the shoulder of Rhea Ripley. You gotta imagine that has something to do with the hat trick of Pop Rocks last week on Raw and the steel chair attack. Oh, wait a minute. Speaking of the Suns, Roxanne catching Rhea with another one in the middle of the ring. Well, Rhea Ripley arriving here in Washington, D.C., not looking to wait for Survivor Series, looking to get her hands on Perez. Well, the Prodigy may have been ready, and now she's got a steel chair again. Rhea Ripley, oof. Well, I think Roxanne has noticed that kinesio tape on the shoulder of Rhea, and now is using that steel chair to attack the entire torso of the Nightmare. Well, Roxanne said she is always one step ahead, and she may have been prepared for Rhea Ripley to try to arrive here tonight ahead of Survivor Series and get her pound of flesh. Well, either way, oh, wait a minute, cut back to the ring here. Rhea Ripley is back on her feet. The Nightmare is grabbing that steel chair, and well, Roxanne's made her way to the backstage area here at Capital One Arena. I think Rhea Ripley isn't done. The Nightmare is going hunting for the Prodigy. The battlefield will be set live. WWE returns to the world's most famous arena, Madison Square Garden, in the city that never sleeps, New York City. It's the Fall Classic, where dream teams assemble, fueled by pride, vengeance, and the hunger to dominate. Alliances will be tested, rivalries will square off, and the best of the best will collide to determine who will be the sole survivors. On one of the most important nights of the WWE calendar, only the strongest will survive. Presented by Noah Nation Gaming channel memberships, history will be made at the 2025 Survivor Series. Well, we are backstage here at the Capital One Arena. Rhea Ripley is still on the hunt for Roxanne Perez. Rhea Ripley has still got that chair that she was just attacked with moments ago inside the ring. Wait a minute! Perez coming out for the other corner and just attacked Rhea Ripley again from behind with a steel chair, now backstage. Well, Rhea Ripley might have just walked into a trap. Roxanne playing on the emotions of Rhea Ripley the last couple of weeks, using it against the Nightmare, and has continued to assault Rhea from Greensboro last week to Washington, D.C. here tonight. I don't know what Roxanne... Oh, wait a minute. Oh, my goodness! Rhea Ripley just sent right to that damn glass window. And Perez is fleeing the scene. We got to get some help back there for Rhea Ripley, whose flesh might have just been torn apart after the attack by the Prodigy. Well, hopefully we get some hands on the scene, ladies and gentlemen, but all roads lead to Survivor Series coming up this Sunday night. Madison Square Garden, New York City, live premiere event, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, the action to begin 30 minutes prior on the Survivor Series kickoff show, exclusive to Domination Gaming channel members. The Wyatt Six, Dexter Lumis and Joe Gacy, set to defend their World Tag Team Championship against the Bloodline, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. Two families gonna be at war there, but we get into the main show and it is a civil war, the Mysterio Bloodline. 2 out of 3 falls as decided this past Thursday night on SmackDown. Dirty Dominic Mysterio wants to become a 3-time Cruiserweight champion. His father Ray out to teach him a lesson in respect in the world's most famous arena. Well, Ludwig Kaiser falling short to Sami Zayn moments ago here on Monday Night Raw. Will he be able to bounce back on Sunday? Standing in his way is the man who was guarding the ramp earlier on, the ruler Alba Fyre. The Intercontinental title is on the line. Well, after what we just saw, who knows what the condition of Rhea Ripley is going to be heading into Survivor Series. Roxanne Perez may just have the edge. The Prodigy's Women's Championship is on the line against the woman she cashed in Money in the Bank on back at Bad Blood, Rhea Bloody Ripley. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, a friendship torn apart. Kevin Owens out to stomp the heart out of Sami Zayn and cut him out of his life for good. Sami Zayn out for retribution after being stabbed in the back by Owens. Owens and Zayn one-on-one at Survivor Series. It is the SmackDown main event for the Heavyweight Championship of the World. The Punishment, Damian Priest, defends the championship for the very first time since capturing it inside Hell in a Cell. In his way is Big Bronson Reed and the megastar LA Knight. Triple threat matchup for the World Heavyweight Championship. And it wouldn't be Survivor Series without the traditional 4-on-4 Survivor Series elimination matchup. Team EO versus Team Raquel. Raquel Rodriguez, the Women's United States Champion Liv Morgan, and the Tag Team Champions Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair versus the Women's World Champion Io Sky, Julia, and the Kabuki Warriors Asuka and Kairi Sane. And in the main event on Sunday night, it is an all-star game, and it is Team Cena versus the Bloodline. The undisputed WWE Champion John Cena, CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes take on the team of Jacob Fatu, Solo Sikoa, the Tribal Chief Roman Reigns, and the High Chief, The Rock. All that to come this Sunday in New York City at Survivor Series. But before the bell sounds in Madison Square Garden, we got a #1 contender to determine here in Washington, D.C.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Bron Breakker.
From the very last Raw of 2024, December 30th to be exact, all the way till August the 24th of 2025, Bron Breakker was on top of the world as the undisputed WWE Champion, turning away superstars such as AJ Styles, CM Punk, even the Ring General Gunther. Bron Breakker, ever since losing the title to John Cena back at SummerSlam in August, has been hell-bent on getting his rematch. He believes John Cena's been ducking the badass, but Bron Breakker can prove himself a worthy #1 contender once and for all tonight if he can do what he did back in July at Money in the Bank, and that is conquer one of the most feared superstars to ever step foot in that ring, the Ring General, Gunther. It'll not be an easy task. Gunther is coming for top contendership.
And his opponent, representing Imperium from Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 250 pounds,
You talk about Bron Breakker's WWE Championship reign, well, we cannot gloss over Gunther's World Heavyweight Championship reign, one that lasted 275 days from Survivor Series 2023 to SummerSlam 2024. Gunther, since being drafted to Monday Night Raw back in the spring, has had one goal in mind: become the undisputed WWE Champion. And it would be very befitting if Gunther clashes with John Cena, a man he has been at odds with for hell over a year here in WWE, for the undisputed title. Well, only one man can be #1 contender. Both Gunther and Breakker got issues with John Cena. Both of them want to see Cena inside of the ring with the WWE title on the line. Breakker has defeated Gunther earlier this year, but in their first ever bout, it was Gunther who defeated Bron Breakker. That was back in Gunther's world title reign in 2024. Well, these two men clash again, and this time a championship is not on the line. It is just the #1 contendership, the opportunity to challenge for said gold. Both of these men got in each other's face recently here on Monday Night Raw. Both of them with arguments to become #1 contender. Only one of them is going to get the opportunity after Survivor Series. Remains to be seen who that is going to be. High stakes, high reward in the middle of the Capital One Arena here on Monday Night Raw. John Cena with his hands full come Sunday as he leads a team filled with CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Cody Rhodes against the Bloodline. The win or lose at Survivor Series, the work for the WWE Champion is going to be far from done. His farewell tour that will, of course, conclude in March in Las Vegas at WrestleMania continues to be a busy one, as no matter what happens at Survivor Series, he's going to have either Bron Breakker or Gunther on his tail in the near future. Bron Breakker looking for that to be him as he takes Ring General Gunther off his feet. Bron Breakker turned away every challenger in his way, from Gunther himself to CM Punk to Randy Orton to Seth Rollins in his WWE Championship reign, one that will not be soon forgotten. No doubt about it, an incredible reign for the young man so early on in his career. There's one blemish on the record for Bron Breakker throughout that reign, as Gunther just closed fists right to the skull. Nothing fancy about it. Both Bron Breakker and Gunther got something in common. That's they've both fallen short to John Cena on premium live events in 2025, and they are out to right those wrongs. Gunther with Breakker in the corner. Gotta believe Gunther has watched back the tape from both Backlash 2024 and Money in the Bank 2025 to see what works against Bron, to see what doesn't work against Bron, and certainly choking the life out of Bron Breakker, while Bron is draped over the top. And it's gonna benefit Gunther as he now clears off the announce table. We're only a couple of minutes into this matchup, but Gunther clearly showing that he is not afraid to go to any lengths to defeat Bron Breakker here tonight on Raw. You know, when you see something like that out of Gunther clearing off the announce table just minutes into this matchup, it's almost an unintentional nod of respect to Bron Breakker. Gunther realizing that Breakker is as tough as they come. There is absolutely no stone to be left unturned if Gunther wants to become #1 contender tonight. Bron Breakker not looking to see that disaster as he sends this matchup back inside of the ring. Gunther, however, off the reversal, kick to the abdominal. Overhand chop gets rejected in a Steiner line by Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker on record many a time says he has respect for absolutely nobody, and that is why he has been so successful. Last 2 years at WrestleMania, in Bron's only 2 WrestleMania appearances thus far in his career, he not only retired the Hall of Famer and Edge, but then this year defeated CM Punk to retain the WWE Championship. And Bron could be on the verge of another massive victory in his young career if he can once again defeat Gunther. Something that is a rare feat throughout Gunther's career. The entire time Gunther has been on the main roster, whether it's been on SmackDown or on Raw, from 2022 all the way to 2025, only 3 men have pinned the shoulders of the ring general. You're looking at one of them in Bron Breakker, the other 2 being John Cena and the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. And Gunther looking to erase the memory of any victory Bron Breakker's ever had. Drop kick right to the chest, just knocking the life out of this young man. One of the most dominating World Heavyweight Champions in SmackDown history, looking to finally capture gold here on Monday Night Raw. Gunther's been hell-bent on becoming WWE Champion since being drafted to the Red Brand back in the spring, and this could be the victory that puts him in line to do so. Just drilling Breakker's head right into the canvas. Said it before earlier on, nothing fancy sometimes about what Gunther implores inside of that ring. All and effective. A big-time Saito suplex. Breakker dropped right on the back of his neck. Gunther now into the cover, and Breakker kicks out. Only a 1 count that time, says referee Rod Zapata. It just goes to show you how physical these 2 superstars can be inside of that ring and how difficult it is going to be to gain victory here tonight in our nation's capital. We knew last week when this matchup was signed on, we were going to be in for a treat between 2 heavy hitters, 2 hungry competitors hell-bent on getting back into the ring with the never-seen 17, John Cena, for the undisputed WWE title. Bron Breakker, wobbly foundation. Gunther with another Saito suplex. Gunther proud of his efforts. You know, both of these men not really on the great side, I should say, of the WWE Universe, but certainly Gunther not a fan favorite in Washington, D.C. here tonight. German suplex on Breakker. Breakker with a kick out. You know, Gunther has besmirched the name of the WWE Universe, and the fans here that pack out these arenas each and every week, time and time again. Bron Breakker's a little bit different. Bron Breakker doesn't give a damn whether you cheer him, whether you boo him. He's just got no respect for anybody. He only cares about himself. Bron Breakker now on the outside. Oh, ragdolls Gunther right to the ropes. Anything you got to do to get back in the driver's seat. The Breakker went up top, obviously had something in mind. Gunther crawling away from disaster. Bron Breakker gonna go to him, and Breakker now, middle rope, bulldog! Gunther, maybe seeing stars after that. And now Bron back on top, where he was a moment ago. Gunther, wobbly foundation. Breakker dropping the hammer. All of a sudden, the dogs are coming out in Washington, D.C. Gunther sent to the corner. Referee Rod Zapata nearly getting caught up in the crosshairs of the action that time, but Breakker able to recover. Gunther sent to the corner. There's a reversal. There's a reversal by Bron Breakker this time. And so many live rounds being thrown. Chops, closed fists. These 2 men beating the hell out of each other since the bell sounded here in D.C. Gunther hoisted on top, but I don't know if Bron Breakker's got that much energy to meet him up there, and elects to just knock Gunther off the top rope. The ring general taking a fall to the outside. Well, that fall is going to be just as effective as anything else. Breakker now on the apron, full head of steam. Down goes Gunther. Bron Breakker starting to take over here in this #1 contenders matchup. Only one man can earn the opportunity to challenge John Cena in the near future for the gold. Will it be Bron? Will it be Gunther? Gunther exposed this announce table earlier on. Bron Breakker gonna bash his head on top of it. He might have just woke the ring general up, but it had the opposite effect as Breakker gets sent back inside of the ring. Gunther slowly but surely now, with his eyes locked on Breakker, who's down for the moment, but there's a boot. And just when you think one of these guys gains control, pair of knees right to the abdominal. Big time maneuver by Breakker. And Gunther able to kick. Had a feeling that the ring general might have just got caught slipping there and Breakker was going to get away with the victory. But not enough to keep down one of the most dominant champions this industry's ever seen. Flatliner. Well, the matchup may not be over just yet, but Gunther looking like a man who's been through war. Gunther into the corner, able to shove Breakker off. Boot right to the back. And a high elevation knee knocks Breakker off his feet. Bron Breakker gets caught with the lariat. Gunther threw everything he had behind that. And now into the cover, and Bron Breakker reaching out, grabbing the ropes. Incredible ring awareness that time by a former WWE champion. Well, Gunther, I believe, thought he had this matchup done and over with, but Breakker realizing where he was in the ring and uses the ropes to survive. Now Breakker continuing to fight back. Breakker now wanted another Steiner line. Looks like he got caught. Gunther scooping a slam. And we have got a barn burner on our hands. Just like it was at Backlash in 2024, just like it was at Money in the Bank earlier this year, July 2025. Breakker and Gunther, another war of attrition between these two top dogs in the industry. Belly to belly. Gunther now. Uh-oh, maybe in position. Spear by Breakker. Bron just cutting Gunther in half into the cover to become #1 contender. No! Gunther able to kick out. Well, Bron Breakker has thrown some of his best, yet the ring general still moving. The spear. Bron Breakker just driving himself right through the abdominal of Gunther, but somehow this man is still alive, and he knocks Breakker off his feet. Gotta imagine John Cena watching this matchup backstage here in the Capital One Arena. So much on his mind as he leads a team in a battle against the Bloodline at Survivor Series, knowing whatever happens in Madison Square Garden on Sunday, no matter what condition John Cena walks out of that match in, he is gonna have either Bron Breakker or Gunther waiting in the wings, going after his WWE Championship. That is the target that is on your back when you are on top of this industry. Cena very familiar with it. Gunther now with the half Nelson German off the top to Bron Breakker. From one corner to another, Gunther now on top. And drops the knee right to the heart. You gotta believe it's over from here. And another kick out by Bron. This is exactly what you had to expect between the badass and the ring general. We said it earlier, we'll say it again. Neither of these men can leave any stone unturned. They've been in the ring with each other before. They know what it takes to keep the other down. Who's got what it takes? Who wants it more in the middle of our nation's capital? Spine buster by Bron Breakker, excuse me. Obviously fatigue setting in for both of these men as they have put each other through the ringer thus far. Oh, look at the strength by Breakker. Look at this, a belly-to-belly suplex out of the ring. Bron Breakker just sending Gunther for an amusement park ride, although I think Breakker's the only one who took amusement in that. Gunther might have the wind knocked out of him after that fall from grace. And now Breakker has got the ring general in his grasp, and oh, he's coming back over to the announce table here that Gunther cleared off earlier. Breakker trying to use it against the ring general. Gunther, however, fighting back. Felt disaster, felt a sense of urgency. And now it's Bron Breakker who's hoisted on the announce table. Well, I don't like this for either competitor. Disaster may be afoot. Bron Breakker fighting back. Couple of haymakers. Got caught. Gunther now. Last Symphony driving Bron Breakker through the announce table. Referee Rod Zapata up to a count of 8. Gunther's back inside the ring. Breakker starting to stir. But he's too late. Gunther narrowly escapes as #1 contender. Gunther driving Bron Breakker through the announce table that he cleared off earlier on in this matchup, using that table as a fail-safe when he was unable to pin the shoulders of the badass. Well, Bron Breakker is going to have steam coming out of his ears after this result. But the result reads one thing. Gunther, by hook or by crook, has defeated Bron Breakker and will be waiting for John Cena after Survivor Series to write another chapter in what has been a vicious rivalry spread throughout 2025.
Here is your winner,
Breakker just trying to get his wits about him after being put through the announce table. But Gunther stands tall in our nation's capital as #1 contender for the undisputed WWE Championship. Oh, man. And the champion is in the house. Cena and Gunther have gone to war before. WrestleMania earlier this year, the perfect example of it. And oh, whoa, wait a minute. Well, this is backstage here in the Capital One Arena. That's Jacob Fatu, and he's got CM Punk in his grasp. Well, the team captain at Survivor Series, John Cena's out here staring eye to eye with Gunther. I don't think he's got any idea what's going on in the backstage area. Oh, well, look at this. Not the only fight that's going on. Solo Sikoa attacking the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. It looks as if the Bloodline is trying to divide and conquer ahead of Survivor Series. And Cody sent right to that garage door. Well, Rollins and Reigns had their confrontation earlier tonight. A war of words between those two men. And now Solo trying to incapacitate Cody, all the while Fatu has laid waste to CM Punk somewhere else in the Capital One Arena. Well, this is what you had to expect ahead of Survivor Series. I don't even think John Cena realizes what is going. Oh, hold on here. Cena gets annihilated with a steel chair from behind. The Rock on the scene. And a rock bottom to the WWE Champion on top of the stage. John Cena's focus has been divided, and The Rock took advantage. All roads lead to Survivor Series, live this Sunday night in Madison Square Garden from New York City.